Alright, today we'll be talking about ACME Dental's workforce security policies. And in our security policies, we have a couple things to talk about: employees, etiquette, how to lock doors, make sure patient data is safe, and how to protect yourself, the company, and patient data in general. Let us begin to have a look at the policies. So this policy is a workforce security policy, mostly covers IT and physical security and protecting patient data. Now, as of writing this, Acme Dental has 4 employees: the dentist, the 2 hygienists, and an office manager. There are 3 computers, one that collects credit card payments, insurance payments, scheduling appointments, and then there's 2 computers beside the dental chairs that are used in taking x-rays. And we're assuming computers, they never leave the office, right? And we're using tab 32. Patient data is not emailed, and there are 2 external doors that are locked after hours. No video cameras, but we do have a video camera policy, and that the front door is unlocked during the day, and at night when the last person leaves, they activate an alarm. So if anything changes regarding this, please review this policy and make amendments as needed. Now I will delve into the principles and guidelines of Acme Dental, the CIA triad, and other details that this policy has to cover. So the CIA triad is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now data is confidential, patient data, right? So we need to protect it, make sure that it's safe. Integrity is making sure the data does not change without us changing it. A third party cannot change it. A hacker shouldn't change it. Any change should go through us or the patient. It has to be done in a procedure. And availability, this patient data, whatever data we have, should be available to us when we need. And let's talk about data classification. Now there are a few data classifications that we will get into, and we'll also be talking about two-factor authentication. Alright, so let's cover acceptable use of IT resources. A lot of things to delve into. Okay, perfect. So it's going to be authorized access to resources. So everyone has their own ID cards and their own classifications of which data they should be accessing. So if you need to access data that you currently do not have access to, then see if your position requires the data. If it does, then you can request your IT admin for additional privileges. The last thing you'd want to be doing, you should always avoid this, is to ask someone else or use someone else's credentials without their consent. So let's avoid that. Now talking about data classification, this is in healthcare, right? So we have the 3 classifications: public, internal, and confidential. So if we have, let's say, a drive, right? A USB drive or a folder, and this folder has some information there. It is going to be 10 pages of public information, but at the end someone's credit card information is there, or what a patient suffers from, or why they came to the dental clinic, or maybe their SSN details or something like that. Okay, immediately this file should be classified to the highest standard of security, which is going to be the most stringent one, right? It's going to be confidential. So public is available only to the public, internal would be available to everyone inside, and confidential, we should be very wary of confidential information. Only those who need to know should know. Moving on to passwords, they should be strong, unique, and periodically updated. Now, sharing of passwords, as we've talked about, is strictly prohibited. As part of security, we have two-factor authentication. So we will give people a authenticator, right? You will press the button and then a code will appear. You'll type that code in online or on your phone, whichever way Acme Dental proceeds to go with this. And yeah, change your passwords often. Do not make it hello123 or a hello world or something. Don't name it password. Name it something that is strong, unique, periodically updated. Do not write your passwords on your desk. All right. Now moving on to accessing resources. Employees are required to use work computers for work purposes only. Since these work purposes involve patient data, it's important to keep the cross-contamination away. If we log on to social media or Google Drive, or if we plug in foreign USBs, or we try to change the internet connection, transmit patient data, or bring in our own personal data, we're mixing things up, and we want to avoid this. The reason we want to avoid this is because we want to keep patient data very private. Now there is a guest Wi-Fi, and guest Wi-Fi is provided for employees or guests who would like to use the internet, and you could use that for personal use within reason, right? Do not use it for any illegal activities, downloading extremely large files, torrenting, or any content that is objectionable in nature. And the work computers, well, just leave them for work purposes. Working from home is prohibited. Using personal computers or laptops, this policy can be reviewed later on, but for now, please stick to work computers to do work. Email and internet use. There's a lot to unpack here, really. So let's go over email. So there can be a lot of things that happen over email and a lot of things that shouldn't happen over email. Let's talk about what shouldn't happen over email. Inappropriate messaging your colleagues shouldn't happen, right? Because that's not good. You shouldn't forward anything to a personal email or click any attachments from foreign places. There's hackers out there, right? And then they can send you files to click or links, or they can ask you for information pretending to be other people. So if you have anything like that, always get someone from IT involved. If you're not sure, do not reply to anything or don't download anything from there. uh, Patient data should always be encrypted, right? So when patient data is encrypted, it means that it is safe. So the way we have done safe patient data is we've gone through tab 32. So we will upload our data on the tab 32 portal, and we'll email the customer, which are our dental clients, right? We'll tell them, hey, check tab 32, we have made an update, and they can go from there and they can check their data from there. We will not be emailing anything out. It's good to have an email signature. It looks professional. So if you don't have one, please make one for yourself. Email forwarding, like I said, let's not forward anything to personal emails. As far as internet use is concerned, the secure network provided by Acme Dental on the work computers is for business purpose only. So use the Wi-Fi guest network if you have to do personal stuff. Otherwise, stick to business practices. We will cover this later on, but it's also very important not to download anything on the business computers without admin consent. Also, if you're leaving your desk to go for lunch or just check in on something really quickly, you can always press the Windows button and L. That will lock your computer so people cannot see what's on your screen. You can be working on something very important, and as soon as you leave your PC, you should cover yourself by pressing Windows L, or just locking your computer so people cannot get into your computer or access to what you're doing without knowing your password. Now, two key things about this. Never write your password on your desk or anywhere else where people can just see it. That will defeat the purpose of a password. And IT will never ask for your password. So if you've ever asked for a company credit card, patient data over the phone or over email, or someone says that they need your password, please hang up, let IT know, and we will carry it on from there. On to data security and privacy. Now, patient data protection is very important, as Acme Dental deals with dental patients, their x-rays, their conditions, and the things they have disclosed to you. Now, we follow the HIPAA regulations, and we use tab 32 to transmit user data. Patient data is not to be sent over email at all, photocopied or faxed. If you do need it for business purposes, just to like make a copy of something of patient data, please ensure to shred it as soon as you're done. Do not leave it lying here and there on the desk or anywhere else. As far as encryptions are concerned, sensitive data must be encrypted when in transit and at rest. So always use tab 32. Everyone should be fine there. Data backup should be performed. If you are working extended hours, if you're using Word to make uh, a file or a PowerPoint presentation, something like that, please ensure to back up your work on the business 365 cloud server, and then you can always retrieve it from there. If in case of outages, your data will be safe, right? So ensure to like save like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Data retention. Now data retention policy is that it should be HIPAA compliant. So use the patient data and destroy any copies if it is no longer in use. So keep the data for as long as legally allowed. If there's any copies, shred it after you're done using this. Moving on to system security. The first thing I would like to talk to you about is software updates and installations. So with your regular accounts, it's not possible to install software, right? So if you need a new tool, maybe you need to download ChatGPT on the desktop or some kind of application. Well, that's not possible. This is because we would like the business computers to be free of viruses of any sort, so that patient data is always safe, the computer is safe, the business is safe, and you are safe. If you need an app to do your work, then please submit a ticket to the IT department. Your request will be reviewed, and then the IT department will either install the software for you, or make some changes for you. As for software updates, anything that is critical to day-to-day operation of Acme Dental, including Tab 32, will be updated, and the employees are not to install any updates. If you feel like you need an update, talk to system admin or the IT person, and they will look at it and see what you can do from there. Let's see about USB devices and storage devices. So please do not plug in your phone to charge to the business computers, the PC, right? Or any USBs or any hard drives or anything else like that. If you need to make your backup of your work files, back it up to the business cloud. But no devices should be plugged into the business computers. Also, please do not log into your personal cloud on your business work computers, right? Because we don't want to cross-contaminate the business computer data, right? We don't want to have your data on the business computer or patient data on your cloud. So it's very important for everyone to be safe with this. As far as endpoint security is concerned, we will install antiviruses and everything. If you see something that is disabled and you feel like it should not be when it comes to antiviruses or things like that, please contact the IT department. Also, please do not disable something that is currently enabled without IT permissions. If at any point Acme Dental provides mobile devices for work purposes, they will be under MDM, which basically means that Acme Dental or your IT people are able to audit the device, check its location. So that will be your work phone. Also very important to treat your work phone like a work computer. Security. Of course, Acme Dental may expand in the future, but as of right now, we have the front door, right? Every employee has their physical key and computer login. As far as the physical keys concerned, please keep it on you at all points in time. Do not lend it to anyone. If you have misplaced your key, we will have to replace everyone's key, replace the lock, because we do not want intruders to have found that key and gain access, right? So also it's important to not leave anyone near your workstation unattended. Speaking of unattended access, let's talk about guests. Now, guests are welcome as long as they do not hinder the employee in performing their work duties, but guests are not to be left alone with the computers or near any place that has sensitive data because of HIPAA laws, right? So you be expected to be with your guest, right? Make it brief, and you can meet your guests freely during your breaks. As far as the alarm and door is concerned, the front door is not to be left unattended. Tampering with cameras when they're installed would be strictly forbidden. So please do not change any camera angles or anything like that. If you see anyone doing that, let us know or let security know, and then we will have a look at that. The alarm must be armed by the last person who leaves. So whoever is the last person, this is your job. And if it's time to close up for the day, please check around to see who is in the office. If you happen to be the last person, it's your job to arm the office. Also, just to make sure no one else is hiding in the office, right? And so, yeah, that's physical security. Let's talk about incident reporting. This is a very quick one. So security incidents, if there's something that happens, maybe a camera has been tampered with, maybe the alarm went off, a guest has made a copy of patient data or something like that. If you see something, say something, report this to the IT department or to whoever is to people, and make this a written or over the email thing, so we have a track of your complaint and then we can address it. Failure to report these things after seeing them also has a consequence. So please bear this in mind as well, as we're dealing with patient data. As far as data breach notifications go, in the event of a breach, affected individuals and the relevant authorities will be notified by the company in accordance with the legal requirements. Final slide. Training, awareness, and compliance. So employee training is ongoing, right? So we will always reiterate things as we see fit, and yeah, training will be ongoing. But I would like to talk to you about cybersecurity training in particular, and on data safekeeping. It is possible that IT department tests the workers of Acme Dental. So you might receive a phishing email that is from the IT department in disguise, right? And if you click on this link or download something or attempt to run something, it's very possible that you will be enrolled in a mandatory cybersecurity training against phishing. So the best thing is to always be vigilant and never click on these links, right? But we will keep you on your toes. As far as environmental awareness is concerned, it's very important that employees understand how to keep patient data confidential, right? Since it is very important. Please respect customer privacy. Don't talk about patient data in Walmart or here and there. If there's a need to discuss sensitive information, know that patient privacy should be respected. It should only be done with people who need to know, and in a logged office. And with policy compliance, we do reserve the right to modify this policy, and we will update you in case we do. And there are consequences of non-compliance with anything mentioned in this policy is pretty serious, because it can result in sensitive patient data being leaked. Failure to comply may result in disciplinary action, including up to termination of employment. Here, I would love to look into questions. If you have any questions, I can address them now, or you can email me, text me, and yeah, if there's anything, let me know, and I can answer them for you.